You just know with the fan service around Resident Evil Village that a DLC was going to come out, but little did we know it would be much more than that. It's here, and we're going to take a brief look at the story behind Resident Evil Village, Winter's Expansion. It's been over a year and a half since Resident Evil Village hit digital and physical storefronts, and it's been traumatizing parents with its terrifying story of child endangerment ever since. Most of us have put our lives and children back together in that time, having completed the game, which makes it the perfect time to drop a healthy portion of DLC. Or at least, that's Capcom's thinking. Hoping to get players back into the world of Resident Evil Village, the legendary Japanese studio just released Resident Evil Village Winter's Expansion. This sizable DLC package includes an entirely new story campaign, new characters and missions for the Mercenaries arcade mode, and a unique new perspective to experience the horror of Resident Evil Village in third person. Why would you want to play the game in anything other than the pants-soiling first-person perspective is beyond us. It also makes the game look and feel like Resident Evil 4, which is great if you're one of the 5 people who haven't played through that game multiple times. Much more interesting are the new characters for the Mercenaries mode. Added to the roster with the Winter's Expansion are Resident Evil Village's version of Chris Redfield, the villainous Karl Heisenberg, and most importantly, the tall, terrifying drink of water that is Lady D herself. Each character brings with it its own weapon loadout and special abilities that give players tactical options in battle, and the additional orders should also give hardcore Resident Evil fans plenty of extra content to enjoy, especially with Lady D. Capcom denied my request to add the voice lines, "Step on me, mommy," and "Mummy uppy num-nums" for the enemy characters, even though I offered to voice them for free. It's not like I wanted to live out my own fantasies, I just thought those lines would make the game better, Anyway, the real crown jewel in the Winter's Expansion is the Shadows of Rose story scenario. If you haven't completed Resident Evil Village, shame on you. But also what follows will be spoilers for the main narrative, so either prepare yourself or go finish the game and come back. Ready? Oh my god, wasn't it crazy when they finally showed Ethan Winters' face and it turns out he's just Rue from Street Fighter 2? Just kidding, you never see his face. Shadows of Rose picks up 16 years after the conclusion of Resident Evil Village. Ethan is long dead, and his daughter Rose is now retracing his steps through the halls of Castle Dimitrescu. Like father, like daughter. Rose's goal in Shadows of Rose is to sever her lifelong connection to the curse that has designated her as a superhuman and a freak to her classmates. Her journey leads her to form a mental link with the same mold that grows inside her, and she falls into the memories of that mold, which are represented as Lady D's castle. And you thought your high school experience was rough. The concept for this exciting new chapter in the Winters family saga actually evolved from cut content of the original game. At some point in Village, players were meant to take control of a teenage Rose and experience events in the game as a character more helpless than Ethan Winters. That content never came to be, but producer Masachika Kawada and director Kento Kinoshita were able to bring their vision of a playable Rose to fans eventually. And since the script for the game was developed in collaboration between English and Japanese writers, just like Village's core narrative, the story of Shadows of Rose should be just as exciting and revelatory by the end of its estimated 4-hour runtime. The Winter's Expansion was announced at E3 2021, but is only just making its way to consoles and PC in December of 2022. This final piece of content marks the end of the Winters family chronicle. For now, anyway. We still have the Resident Evil 4 remake to look forward to next year, and we here at S35 Gaming hope that whatever comes next for the Resident Evil franchise is as action-packed and nightmare-inducing as Resident Evil Village and its subsequent expansion. So what's your favorite Resident Evil game? We know it's Resident Evil Verse, but let us know in the comments. Stay tuned for our upcoming indie game spotlight on Metros 2033. And while you're here, why don't you check out our look at the Callisto Protocol? I'm Mike Golchinski, and I'll see you in the next video.